Hey, true believers, Teen here with another episode of Comic Book Origins, where we take a look at the first appearance of any comic book hero, villain, or team. In this case, we're talking about something that, in all honesty, I don't understand. The real GhostBusters, to me, had 2 movies and a video game tops. But apparently there's a cartoon series and a comic book series based on that you kids go crazy for. Now, usually I'm like, hey, okay, what comic book creator did this? And there is a lot of written bys and artist bys, but in all honesty, it was Dan Aykroyd. The man has a thing for the supernatural. He really does. And I know he actually created Venkman for John Belushi before Bill Murray came on. Harold Ramis, of course, helped out writing. So I'm going to credit them for the creation of the real Ghostbusters. I understand the cartoon's a hit and everything. I'm going to be checking that out as well. Maybe I'll do a binge watch video for either this or the Extreme Movie Show. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Anyway, this was not, however, commissioned by my friend Dr. Venkman. Thank you very much to FRAGMINION for commissioning this as a gift to Dr. Venkman. I love the fact that we have a community here, man. Seriously, but if you want to commission a video like this, go on over to Ko-Fi. Links in the description below. Just pick whatever topic and pick whatever subject you want, and I'll get to the video as soon as possible. Now, I love the stuff that you guys pick, but I don't like the reason why I'm doing this, and that is because YouTube is strangling this channel. So I'm trying to transition over to another channel as well. It's called Old Man Comics. It is all about the comic books, no drama. This is going to be the channel for the news and the drama right here. That one's going to be for all the fun stuff, the origins, the first appearances, the top 10 comics sold to readers, so forth and so on. So go on over there. Links in the description below, or you could type up Old Man Comics Teen in the search bar. You'll find it. Don't forget to subscribe, and more importantly, hit that notification bell and make sure that notifications are on, because that's what YouTube really cares about. With all that aside, let's get into the first comic book appearance of the real Ghostbusters. Real Ghostbusters #1. As always, we start with the cover, and I gotta tell you, I do enjoy it. It's a little bit Scooby-Doo, though, if we're being honest, with Ray underneath the monster that's dripping on him, everybody else wondering what the hell's going on while it's all just happening behind them. Seen it before, like I said, on Scooby-Doo. I guess it's a cartoon, so this book was based on a cartoon. It's all good. Yeah, it's not a striking cover, but at least it's not a bad cover. The book starts off with Ray watching TV with Slimer. He's excited. There's some sort of new special effects going on. Egon's got too much time to spend with his molds that are sporing or something like that. And Venkman, of course, has a date. And Winston, in all honesty, is just tired of special effects because he gets enough in real life. So, of course, it even says in the book that exactly what Ray or Winston didn't want is happening right here. Is these kids we find out are time travelers of some sorts. Escaping somebody named Slug enters the picture and sees as Ecto-1 passes by them. I guess everybody decided, what the hell, we're not going to watch the TV show Ray wants to watch, but it's time. I don't remember them getting a call. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, they do this little Abbott and Costello bit. Now, where are we going again? A submarine? I had to stand up my date for a taste of claustrophobia? No, it's called Captain Nemo's Submarina. Oh, you mean it's at the harbor? No, it's just a fast food place. It's just called a Submarina because they serve sub sandwiches there. Then it's inside a submarine. No, they sell submarine sandwiches there. It's not even run by Captain Nemo. But did they get his permission? Ray! There you go. Little, that sucked. That was bad. So the guys arrive at the sub shop and find out that, in fact, it is Captain Nemo. Venkman says, yeah, you think we could get him to go to Disney World? That there's a Nautilus down there. I could use the, I could use the vacation. It makes me a little nostalgic because we haven't had the Nautilus around for a long, long time. But Captain Nemo doesn't like what they're talking about, so he's like, more mockery, eh? Let's see you mock this, as he points to a big-ass fish man. Nemo yells, give him a deep blue goodbye. I don't know why all of a sudden he's Scottish, anyway. So when Ray yells scatter, everybody jumps away. Winston wonders why the green ones are always mean, and then says, well, let's give them a manifestation of our powers. Egon agrees, and they fire up the proton packs. And I think this is about as close as we're going to get to a Ghostbusters versus the Abomination comic. And I can't believe they actually used this dialogue, but here it is. He's created a land shark. Tear them up, then tear this place down. Captain Nemo then is hit by the proton pack. I'll get you for this. And Winston says, not if we get you first. You already have him. It's bad dialogue, guys. What's happening? He says as he's sucked into the ghost trap. And then, of course, Venkman looks at the land shark. Don't look now, Jaws, but if he's in there, you can't exist out here anymore. And the land shark's like, oh, yeah? Oh, no. And he disappears. Soon afterwards, the time-traveling teens show up and grab onto the trap. Ghostbusters are like, hey, stop, you don't know what you're doing. And one of the teens says, thanks, we couldn't have done it without you. Amid a swirling flash accompanied by a strange high-pitched sound, the counterclock criminals vanish. I don't believe it. Captain Nemo has been kidnapped. Yeah, by a music video. Does this mean we still get paid for getting rid of him? So then we hear Winston's moaning about special effects being everywhere. They're not special effects, it's reality. Just saying. I guess I know where he's going with it, but it just doesn't make sense. Winston's smarter than that, or at least he is in the movies. And we meet the time-traveling teens in their own hideout, and they're talking about, well, why didn't we steal this guy back when he was alive? And they're like, well, because he didn't have his ghost powers, blah, 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 yada, yada. And that's just about all the good information that we're getting here. Otherwise, they're just saying, we got a plan. Okay, I want to read the dialogue just to show you how vague and really it's not even useful. I mean, they might as well not have it. It's like it's mindless talking rather than leading the story somewhere. Anyway, it goes, then you'll be interested to know that we're going to borrow a few pages from that The Gore Dark Territories and Jeffy is Dead. Yeah, the teachers made me read those old classics. It's why we came down the line to here. These are the good days, the dark days, and it's why the Ghostbusters thrive. But before we blip out of here for good, we're going to find out just how good they really are. They won't take this lying down, you know. Honest, and then it cuts to Venkman sleeping on a couch. Honest, Dana, I was just fooling when I said you were a dog. You're going to slime me, aren't you? No, friend. I don't know a Slimer voice. Yeah, well, I'll never forget the way you said hello. Peter, remember how we got $5,000 when we caught him? Oh, yeah. I forget. Then we should put him in the containment vault. Okay, there you go. That's the page. There's nothing said there. They've got a plan. That's it. We're not let in on anything or any information about who these people are. What are their real motivations? There's no real character to them. If you didn't see where the word balloons are pointing, you wouldn't be able to tell which person they are. It's bad, guys. It really is bad. Janine comes in and tells the boys that the submarine sandwich shop's insurance company is cutting a check for getting rid of Captain Nemo, but Egon can't stand it. It wasn't really their victory, so he's going to figure out what happened, and he sits up studying while everybody is sleeping. The time-traveling teenagers drop off a little bit of alien technology. We find out that the time-traveling teens decided to do a little reality swapping, and we find Winston is in a world where he's being visited by killer clowns. Venkman dreams that he's in high school where his teacher turns into a werewolf, and by the way, there's a really bad joke at the end of this page. Seriously, it's embarrassing. So he says, and I thought school dreams were bad when I couldn't remember my locker combination. Rum-ba-dum. It's cheesy, but fun. And even Ray Stantz, I expect, is having a rude awakening in the land beyond. We see that he wakes up and I've never seen you guys before. Hey, if I've locked up some of your friends or dead relatives, maybe we could work something out. We see a woman working some sort of machine. Hurry, we have to complete construction so that we can voyage to the planet of those we never knew. But if you never knew them, how do you know you want to go there, and how did I get here? This is a switch. Everyone's planning to escape and skip out on reality. Maybe I'm near Los Angeles. Da-da-ba-dum. The descendants of our alien ancestors await us now that we are all children of the same world beneath the flesh. I'm not one of the saucer men. I don't even have a green card. Da-da-ba-dum. What? We'll get to the bottom of this, the lady says as she grows tentacles. I didn't mean to get under your skin, he says as everybody seems to surround him. Oh my. I feel like somehow I have wronged FRAGMINION, who commissioned this comic book, and this is the way he's getting back at me. And then we cut to Ray's new reality, where we find out he has a bit of a fear of being alone. He always thought he wanted the isolation, but now that he's gotten way too much of it, he's worried about if he's going to see his friends again. We cut back to Winston, who says, well, I'm not afraid of things that just stare at me. And the clown says, well, why don't we chase you? And so he starts running off. He's like, and I'm not really scared of people that need a big bunch of guys to beat me. And he stops and goes, wait a second, you guys aren't doing anything but looking anyway. And he stands up as if they're a schoolyard bully. Okay, so I guess Winston had a bully. Venkman is standing up to peer pressure here because all the people who turn into werewolves are like, turn into werewolf. And Venkman's like, nah, I'm good. I'm a soloist. I'll run away instead. And we make a joke as if he's kind of stupid, where he's like, oh, I've got to rely on my wits. I really am in trouble, as all the werewolves are like, change, change. And then we cut back to Ray, who everybody's like, wait a second, who are you and why are you here? And he's like, I don't know where I am, and I'm from Earth. And the guy's like, wait a second, that means you have a power source, so we could power up our ship. And Ray's like, hey, let me see your ship. And he figures out how to help. And everybody's like, hey, he's saying he needs to go home, so he's doing this for his own benefit. Get him! And then we cut back to Egon, who seems to have figured things out. He understands this particular world, if it's a parallel world, and it seems to be... let's see. Well, anyway, he says, I suppose that talking to myself isn't the healthiest occupation to have at the moment, but no one's here to make fun of me, tease me, or annoy me, or get on my nerves, or any of the other things my friends do. But where are they? I doubt I was singled out for special treatment, and they could be in worse trouble depending on me, even though I'm not there. And then he finds the proton packs. There's only 2, and they sure can't help me, but I bet they could help others. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out the guys are in trouble. I want the 2 who need these to have them the most now. And then they disappear, and he says, it worked just like I knew it would. How? How did he know it would work? There's nothing that says... okay, well, at least right here he says, the secret is space and time and manipulation of reality. This is a lonely duplicate world I knew, but it is like the world I knew. Okay, so why do you think you go, hey, I want this person to have this because they need it, and it would disappear? And we catch up to Venkman, who's surrounded, but right on time, he gets a proton pack. He's like, hey, this does look like my school. And he begins to blow it up, and I guess all the werewolves that are surrounding him, and he's like, school's out forever. I'm not going to sing it in tune, I guess, but there you go. That's what he says. Alice Cooper rules. Ray's proton pack shows up, but instead of actually attacking him, they're like, hey, wait, we don't have any weapons. We just want to fix our ship. And Ray's like, hey, this proton pack should power your ship. We're not enemies. Let's be friends. Then we cut back to Winston, who's basically, hey, you monsters used to be my friends, but now you're my bullies. I don't need you because I got real friends. And wait a second, if this is an alternate reality, maybe I could control it. And he says, I want to be back in the firehouse, and boom, he is. Where he sees Slimer, and he's like, hey, you're a sight for sore eyes. And Slimer looks all scared and starts to point. Winston turns to see what Slimer is pointing at. Sometimes reality can produce unpleasant surprises without depending on parallel worlds, werewolf, high, or octopus people for inspiration. Oh no, not again, Winston says, and it's concluded next issue. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the first comic book appearance of the real Ghostbusters. What did you think? Personally, I didn't like it. I'm sorry. It really does feel and read like it was written by somebody writing Saturday morning cartoons back in the day when they didn't care about the writing of Saturday morning cartoons. I'm sure if you're a 90s kid, if you remember this, you're going to get a bigger kick out of this just for nostalgia's sake anyway. I wasn't. I literally have maybe seen one episode of... I can't believe I said literally and maybe in the same sentence, but point being is I think I've only seen one episode of the real Ghostbusters. But if you're a fan, I think you're going to get a big kick out of this. There you go. That's my opinion. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Be gentle for those of you who are big Ghostbusters fans. Bankman, I'm talking to you. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Definitely share the videos, get word out about the channels. And if you haven't done it already, go on over to Ko-Fi or to Patreon. Drop $1 in the tip jar and help me keep my lights on, helping me keep making videos for you. This is the way I'm trying to make a living. If you want to commission a video like FRAGMINION did here, by all means, go on over to Ko-Fi. Links in the description below. Just pick out a topic, pick out a subject, and we'll get the video out to you ASAP. Or you could go to Patreon. Any $5 or above gets you video a month. You get to rule the channel. Video for every $5 you donate, one video a month. So there you go. Like, thank everybody who's already done that. To everyone, all of the true believers, my fellow comic book fans out there. That's what I mean when I say true believers. Thank you very, very much for watching.